everybody. It's another beautiful day in paradise here in Las Vegas. And it is, let's see, the 19th. Oh my goodness. September's on its way out, everybody. And we're headed into the fourth quarter, out of the third quarter. And hopefully you've got your act together for real estate because it has certainly shifted in the past couple months. And unbelievable. We have 110 days of inventory, and that's based on selling 89 homes a day, which was in August. We're heading up there in September, though. We're doing 79 a day, and it's gotten better. And hopefully by the end of the month, we will be at least 89 a day. That's about 180 agents getting paid a day, which is good. Last year, we had 143 sales a day, and that was 266 agents a day getting paid. Big difference. So I know that there's people out there not making money. I know that. So hopefully you're farming, you're planning, you're getting ready for the fourth quarter to get your business. If it's not situated for 2023, you may be in I don't want to say trouble, but you may want to get on the horse, everybody. Come on. We did do a lot of listings. We listed 292 homes. That is a lot of homes, and 103 of them were 450,000 and under that were just listed. We have a total of 2,833 homes that are listed 450 and under. And I know the interest rates just went up again. So around 6%. Exactly. Yeah, around 6%. So they say for every 1% of interest going up, it's 10% less. The buyer has, he loses 10% of his buying power. Anyway, but the prices are coming down too. So we shall see. They've held steady at 450. Now, Jimmy and I talk about this a lot. What do we think it's going to end up at? Well, I don't see it. This month didn't shift at all. Hasn't shifted one iota. In August, it held steady, and July was the movement month. So here we go. We've got investors still buying homes, an average for the year of 35 a day, and that's 30% year to date of the daily sales. And that figure is using 113 sales a day, not using what we are currently in for the month. So that's a year-to-date figure. So really, they're not, from a daily standpoint, that's a lot. Anyway, hey, everybody, the $1 million homes are still going about 4 to 5 a go. If you are looking for buyers, I would be looking for the $1 million buyers because they're out there buying. They're out there buying. So go where the puck is going, right? I always say that. The 450,000 medium price, there's a lot of inventory out there. And I have to tell everybody this. I was helping an agent yesterday, one of my dear friends, and she needed help with her listing. Her listing wasn't moving, and she was going to drop the price. And my advice to her was, because when I looked at the comps, she was priced right. In fact, she was priced under value a little bit based on the other comps. Not much, but anyway, the point is she was right there in the sweet spot. And the owner was ready to lower the price. Well, excuse me. Hope you all can hear me too, because I didn't put my special microphone on. All right, here we go. You can probably hear me vaguely. Anyway, so what I told her was, instead of lowering the price, because your price isn't bad, offer to pay the buyer $10,000 for lowering the interest rates, for their closing costs, or for whatever they want to use it for. And do that. And then the other thing is I looked at her remarks. Now, where do most people go to look for homes? They go to Zillow. So if you are not doing a good job with your remarks and your pictures, people are just going to go find another home if it's too complicated, because right now there's so many. So anyway, what you need to do is you need to look at your pictures and then read what you're saying. So that, like, she had a beautiful picture of the home, and I said, grand curb appeal, right? Because that's the first thing that Zillow's seen. So you've got the remarks here and you've got the pictures here on Zillow. So you want the experience to be, you walk into this beautiful home. Well, then she had a picture of going into the home. And then the next thing was the formal dining room and living room. We made a comment about that. The next picture was the family room and a fantastic kitchen. And she had a couple of pictures of that. So we had lots of things to say about that fantastic kitchen. And then the cabinetry and the office downstairs. And we just walked the person reading the remarks through the house. And so that makes a big difference when people are looking at homes. It's the story you're telling about the home they're seeing. So you want your remarks on Zillow and anywhere really, but on Zillow in particular, because that's where most people go, you want the home and the pictures and the remarks to all be in sync so that they have a good experience. And then at the end, she's talked about the solar panels and how much it saved on the power bill, and then she talked about the $10,000. So these things are very important right now because you are in tough competition, everybody. There's 7,644 single family homes out there available. That's a lot of homes, and you better stand out. And 2,833 of them are in the sweet spot of the market, which is the median. 2,800, you're competing when you list this home in that 450 and under range. You are competing with 2,833 other homes. So you better get your act together. You better put that listing out there in the best light you can. And oh my gosh, I still see people taking pictures with their cell phones. Stop it already. That's not going to help you. That's not doing your seller justice. They're paying you 2-3%, whatever it is, but they're paying you to do the best job you can do. And using a cell phone to take your pictures is not the best job you can do. So just saying, everybody, get on it. Come on. We're professionals here. And we're only selling 79 homes a day, so we can up the game. We can. And you need to. You need to make more money. You need to make money, period. Right. And, I was listening to, I paid for the Tom Ferry Summit, which wasn't cheap. And what he says, one of his gals said, anything she does with marketing, she knows it's going to take 8 months to resonate. Now, if you're just starting sending postcards and you just start communicating or whatever you're doing, print wise, or even on the internet, it's going to take 8 months for that marketing effort to mature into its own, assuming that you're doing the right things. So that's an important thing to think about. So you got October, November, December, January, February, March. Not till May is your new marketing campaign going to take hold. Now, this gal was from California. So let's say we're 6 months because we got a different market. But even 6 months, you're into April. So if you're going to be eating in April, don't say, oh, I can't wait that long. What's your choice? Seriously, what's your choice? You have to get on the stick and think about your day. Plan today last night. That's what I do. I mean, I make notes, and then this morning I actually went through and said, okay, what didn't I accomplish that I needed to accomplish? Because you've got to have that rolling factor so that you don't forget things. One thing I want to say, this is a great tool, everybody. This thing that you can do a save as. When you go to the group, do a save as and print it. And then here's your business card. I have a place here for you to put your business card. Right? You can put your business card right in that little spot. Fits perfectly. Now, if you don't have a QR code on your business card, you can actually put a QR code here and maybe paste some of your contact information here. But QR codes are really working now. And when you hand somebody this, they can actually scan it and go to your website or go to What's My Home Worth or whatever you're putting down. And if you're using this to send out to your market, you can put a QR code there so people can say, give me a free market analysis, and go to the page on your website. If you have an Agent Formula website, we have a cloud CMA system that it was cloud CMA, and then we improved upon it so you can take them to that page. We also have the nosy neighbor, and people love that. that kind of gives them a warm and fuzzy feeling. So people really like that. Anyway, whatever you're doing, it's going to take some time, and use this sheet of paper because when you use this, you become an authority in their eyes. And that's the truth. These are MLS stats. These are honed in for the market that they're in. So use it. Now, I'm going to segue here a little bit. Let's get out of here. We had a great social media class on Friday. And if you're not participating in our social media class, you are really missing out. And at the end of the day, what we want to know is your brand. It's your voice, your mind, your heart, and your face. And to that note, my dear friend, Jason Pantana, is going to talk a little bit this morning about that. And this is an excerpt from the summit. And we're only going to show 10 minutes of it. And then we'll show the rest of it another day, or I might even put it in the group. We'll see later. But this is a great little video about branding. So let's talk.
Everybody, y'all feeling good? How many of you feel like leveling up your brand? How many of y'all feel like leveling up your brand? Let me hear you make a little bit of noise, because energy is required. All right. I love it. It's good to see everybody. I know you all worked really hard getting here. I know that was a feat for everybody. And so I'm committed to making this a valuable session for you. I'm committed that you walk away with lots of tactics, lots of strategy in terms of how do I position my brand everywhere to win in my marketplace. And as I was preparing for today, because I love the way Tom has broken down the 3 days, we're going to talk about demand gen. We're going to talk about your brand today. Tomorrow, Jeff Mays is going to hit referrals really hard. It's like the 3 pillars of how you position your business right now. But I was reminded of this conversation that I had with Tom Ferry a couple of years ago. Tom texted, I think, about 20 super influential kind of titans of the industry, thinkers, CEOs, executives in our industry. And he asked all of them one question. He asked each of them individually, who is the agent of the future? Who's the agent of the future? And over the next couple of days, their responses started coming in. They started texting him and emailing him and calling him and sharing their thoughts, these meaningful thoughts on who is the agent of the future. This was a couple of years ago. And you know what really struck me is that in every one of their answers, every one of them, they didn't share notes. Every single one of them said in common, the agent of the future has a recognizable brand. And I got to tell you, it's not the agent of the future anymore. It's the agent of now. And so today's talk is really predicated on this idea. How do we position you as the agent of now? Now, and I wonder, how many of you would say, I already have a recognizable brand in my marketplace? Raise your hands high. It's awesome. I love it. Here's what I would say back. You need a more recognizable brand in your marketplace right now, because guess what? The market is adjusting, is it not? Yes or no? I remember looking at a lot of agents in different parts of the country and all over the place as rates went up and the market started adjusting earlier in the year. And up until that point, they had been just like smooth sailing. It was kind of like order taking. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? Like deals were coming in, write the contract, get it in, maybe it gets accepted, maybe it doesn't. But then something just happened where all of a sudden the consumer started questioning, why should I listen to you? Why should I trust what you have to say? Who are you? And all of a sudden, conversion became a lot harder. And so today I want to talk about how do you position yourself, build a brand of influence where it's going to be based upon 2 things. I want to talk about 2 aspects of branding today. I want to talk about consideration. How do I get people to discover you? We're going to talk about Google. We're going to talk about social media. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff. How do I create consideration for your agent brand? Is that important? Yes or no? Frank, is it important? If I'm not discoverable, then I'm not going to win in my business. But the second layer of it is credibility. Your brand should be working on your behalf so that when you prospect, when you call your database, it's working for you. And they're like, oh, I watched that video you did. It was an amazing point of view. And all of a sudden, you've got clout, you've got influence, you have a brand, you have authority in the marketplace. Nod your heads if you're with me on this. So we're really talking about how do you become the agent of now, and the agent of now has a more recognizable brand. I'm going to kind of go through 3 overarching sections. So y'all taking notes? You're going to want to take a lot of notes because, as usual, I have crammed more content into this talk than we have time to cover in our 90 minutes together. But I'm committed. I'm committed to getting through it because I'm super excited about some of the stuff we're going to share because it's new, and I think you're going to get excited about some of it. 3 things. 1, we're going to talk about, that's the wrong button. We're going to talk about local discovery. How do I leverage local SEO on Google, on social, everywhere so you are discoverable? Consideration. How do I get more consumers to know who you are? We're going to talk about that specifically through a couple of different tactics and case studies. We're going to talk about vertical video, and then I've got a bonus for us at the end. So it's I've got a special thing I'm really excited to tell all of y'all in this room today, and I think you're going to love it. All right, we fired up? What's up, Byron? Good to see you. I don't believe you guys. In the back of the house, are we fired up? Because I got to tell you, there is no room for anemic agent brands. We need strong, recognizable brands, and that's going to require a bit of energy from everybody. Last time, because you're at a Tom Ferry event, let me hear some noise, and then we're going to dive into the content. Make it rowdy. All right, I like it. It's way better. All right, first thing in your notes, write down that SEO is social afterlife. Write it in your notes. SEO, which stands for search engine optimization, is social afterlife. Think about your average lifespan of a post on Instagram or Facebook. Like you make a video and you're like, oh, is this right? Did I do this right? You work so hard, you write the copy, you make it, and then how long does that piece of content last on Facebook, on Instagram, on social? How long? Like a day or 2 days? It's like the lifespan of a fruit fly. And then it just keels over into content oblivion. But I want to talk about how SEO is social afterlife. What if you took that content and you put it on your blog where it lived kind of forever? So for example, here's a post I did, I think May 10th, 2021. It's an older post. It was an Instagram reel, and it did okay. It did okay. It went through the feeds for like a day, and then poof, it lived its lifespan of a fruit fly, and it keeled over into content oblivion. Are y'all with me on this? Except that I also blogged that post. Everything I put on social becomes a blog. I literally embed the videos in the blog. I use the copy for the caption as the copy for the blog. I repurpose all my content as a blog. Does that make sense? And this one blog in particular is now the featured snippet on Google. I could run a search 6 different ways. How long can views be on TikTok? How long can views be on Instagram? All these different things. And I am the featured snippet at the top of Google with a blog from a social media post that died over a year before this. Is that making sense? I'm not looking for I want y'all to do this. Not me. I want you all to do this. If you look at my Google Search Console analytics, this is tiny up on the screen. By the way, you're going to get all my slides. My slides are kind of meant to be like a workbook for you, or a bolt-on to the workbook, so you have these as a resource. You'll get all of them. If you look at the insights, this little blog alone has gotten 30,000 clicks off of Google nearly since I put it there as a blog, and it's generated almost 1 million impressions. So my point to you is, don't go making content on social and then calling it a day. What is your process to position your brand in an evergreen afterlife kind of way as a blog? That's my first tactic for you. You need to leverage SEO because SEO is a real thing. So I got a question for you. What's your best ever piece of content, a social media post that you never blogged? I want you to think for a second. I want you to write it down. What's your best ever video that you published or your best social media post that you never made a blog out of? Write it down. Take a second. This is about taking action, right? And I want you to start getting in the habit of making this thing a blog every single time. Are you with me on this? Every time. But there's a couple of challenges. One of the challenges is, well, what if I write like short captions for my photos? How do I get blog text out of that? Can I show you all a really cool tool? Would that be okay? So there's this AI called Jasper, and it's the future of writing. It's a copywriting AI. Let me look at the screens. I want to show you how this thing works. So I took one of our clients' captions. This is Sam Golovy. And I just copied. You see it says every 1% increase in interest rates, blah, blah, blah. I just copied that. I'm going to paste it in Jasper. and you're going to watch Jasper write a blog post for me in about 3 seconds. You guys with me on this? All right, here we go. Copy, paste, and then watch the screens. Okay, so I'm going to input it. I'm going to generate some ideas. It's analyzing it. All right, give me a title, Jasper. I'll use that title. Great. Okay, now give me an intro paragraph. I don't have anything. Just generate ideas. Okay, super. I'm going to use the first option. Great. Now take me to the long form editor. And you know what? We can do a short, medium, long. Let's do a long blog post. Compose for me and watch it write. Is that cool? Just watch it write. And it's really good because it's aggregating information online. It's researching and becoming an expert in about a millisecond, so it can blog for you, and I can keep hitting it, and it will just keep going for me. And all of a sudden, you're building your SEO game. You're taking your videos and your posts on social, and you're putting them on your blog, and your blog is getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Every single post on social becomes another soldier in your army. Nod your heads if you're with me on that. Okay? It's the first thing. We got a lot to go through, so I'm going to keep us rolling. One more challenge that I've seen a lot of y'all face when it comes to, okay, I've got this content. Making content's half the battle. Distributing content is the other half. If I fail to distribute the content as far and wide as it should go, then I fail to realize the benefits of building my brand because I don't make myself discoverable in the long term. This is all about building your brand, right? And so maybe you need to get like a virtual assistant who can help you distribute your content. I use a virtual assistant who helps me distribute my content. In addition to tools, I would definitely recommend Support Realty. They're in the back. They have VAs. You should talk to them and say, you know what? I want to take my content from here to everywhere, and I need some help in doing that. Who do you have for me? Because your time is important, isn't it? Is your time important? I think your time's important. Should you be focused on $10 an hour work or $1,000 an hour work? Okay, so you got to start separating the creative side of making the videos and all that kind of stuff from the tactical, just distributing the content, and start to put people and systems around you that can take you everywhere. It's about putting your brand everywhere. That's our first idea. Good so far? Okay, you want to keep going? You sure? How about the back of the house? Do y'all want to keep going? See, now they're making noise. I like it. All right, number 2, I want you to write down that reviews equal rankings. Rankings on where? Rankings on Google. Google's what I care about, right? Reviews equal rankings. You've heard some of our panelists talk about their Google business profiles. I'm going to talk more.
All right, there you go. So, we're going to continue with him, but you got 2 hot tips today. You got Jasper.io. Jasper.io, you put content in there and it creates a blog. It can create your content for LinkedIn, your content for your posts on Instagram, sorry. And if you have the Agent Formula website, you should be blogging. You have a blog platform, and then that particular page can go everywhere. So using this strategy, you're getting it SEO'd. This is huge. And Jason Pantana is all about SEO, search engine optimization, using the right words at the right time, in the right context, of course. We had somebody do some SEO for us, and oh my gosh, it was for a property management website, and it was not for the consumer. Okay, it was not for the consumer. So you have to be careful, that what you're writing is for the consumer or for the audience you're trying to reach. The other clue that he gave you, or a tip, is supportrealty.com. This particular company has targeted virtual assistants that are into real estate. I can't tell you the value of that, because for years I looked for people and went through, I can't tell you how many people to find finally somebody after a couple years, seriously, that I really was happy with. So this particular company, Support Realty, can help you find somebody, whether you want somebody just to edit your videos, help you create blogs, whatever. They have a myriad of talents there. And so Wednesday, segueing to Wednesday, we will continue with Jason Pantana on reviews. One of the things I have to tell you is that in our social media mega mastermind group, we've spent 3 weeks on Google Business Page. It is extremely important for you. So anyway, I hope that you, if you can, join us. It's never too late to join us because we're always going over different things, and you can always catch up with what we talk about because we jump from one subject to the other. Now, we're going to continue this week again with Google reviews. We approached it last week. We finished up on some people were having difficulties with the Google Business Profile because Google doesn't operate the same on different computers. So anyway, we're there to help you, and we're there to help you get your brand out, your voice, your mind, your heart, your face. You've got to get it out there. And I'm talking to the people that want to make money. The people that don't want to make money, that don't want to get up every day and have a plan and work their plan, and don't have a farm and don't work their farm, not cultivating the seeds to nurture the harvest, to nurture the planting and then have the harvest. I'm not talking to you all because you're not going to do Google Business Page either. I've learned that over the years, that there's people that are doers, and the Google Business Profile takes time. It's not just one and done. It takes days and weeks, and you have to be careful that you don't put too much up at one time because then they think it's spam. Google thinks it's spam, but you've got to be on Google. 8.5 billion searches a day, and 46% of them are local, searching for local businesses, and real estate is one of them. So don't miss out. Anyway, I love you all. There's a class on Thursday I want to tell you about. It's risk reduction, and it's like, are you hard to crack? And Kane does a fantastic job of teaching you all the nuances of the internet cyber world, and it is going to amaze you. If you haven't taken the class, it's 2 to 5 on Thursday. It's a great class, 3 CE risk reduction credits. Jimmy Degg also teaches that class. He loves it. But on Thursday, Kane is teaching it, and he is our IT guru. So don't miss it. He'll answer your questions, and it'll just be fabulous. Talk to you all soon. I love you. See you Wednesday. Comment, love, like, do something for me. Thank you.